You said
Dovydas.
it.
Did I
Yep.
say it okay?
Mm-hmm.
Dovydas? All right. Dovydas.
There's a V. There's a V in the middle. Dovydas. Yeah.
Dovydas.
Dovydas.
That's
Dovydas?
it. There's no
Oh,
oi. There's no oi. There's just V.
No oi.
Dovydas.
No oi.
Yeah, there's no oi.
Dovydas. Well, this show is going to rock. Our guest has guitar street cred and so much more. I'm Heather Kovar with Tom Reed and Frank Renda, and our guest right now is Dovydas, and he's a viral YouTube musician. And you've made international news with your street performances.
You see, you don't have to be good at music. I think people think that because they see other people on video, on cell phones, and on the internet, on computers, doing music, and they're like excellent. And since the dawn of talent shows, but like back in the day before television, people would just get together and would sing badly, and they would have fun, and it's fine.
I took guitar lessons for years, and then I realized, ugh, what's the point? I'm not as good as John Mayer, so why would I even want to try?
But that's the thing. Be bad at it and just love it anyways. And I think
well, I
that's where
guess
it's
I can
at.
pick that one up, and I got a PRS in the back too. I'm really bad at that.
But you love it. You have it. You see, that's not the point. The level of expertise of entry is not the point. The point is, if you love it, you have fun, you do it with somebody, and it's also like giving up the comparison. Because imagine what if you compared other metrics when you interact with other people. It's like, oh, I'm not as attractive as these people. It's like I'm not worthy to be in this circle now. It's like, no, just or like the gym. Oh, I can't lift as much, so I should not go to the gym now because everyone's so much stronger. It's like give up this strictly measured metrics.
You've got like this
Uh-huh.
finger over here.
Yeah. Oh, that's just
Tom,
my
did you
hands.
want to play a little clip to showcase for
Yeah, I
people
ripped
like
a
what?
couple.
Oh, nice
Yeah, I
fade
think
Tell
out.
us a
that's
That
little
was
great.
bit
good.
about that. Where was that?
That was the Santa Monica 3rd Street Promenade. So I'm from Lithuania, and I came to America when I was 19, and I had a record deal in Florida. That's why I came to America. And I didn't loop. I just, I played guitar and sang and wrote songs, and then I started looping because it was a seasonal town where I was living in Florida, and then the venues were like, well, we don't have a budget for the band, but you can do solo. I'm like, okay, so it's like solo is like you strum an acoustic guitar and you sing, but it's boring. It's like no, I want to like play electric guitar solos and I want to shred. So then I got like this one track looper pedal, and you can loop some chords and you can play on top. So that was like good. And then I borrowed some Yamaha keyboard from somebody that had like drum sounds. So then I looped that, and it's like, oh wait. Then it slowly grew. Two-track looper, then it was three instruments, then it was four instruments, then it's like to what you see today. And the street stuff didn't start until that pandemic and the lockdown. Because all the venues closed down, all the festivals didn't happen. So when I started doing street stuff, I was doing internet. Oh, I know this one. Okay, I know what this is. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, like
Yeah, I
that was
remember that.
fantastic. So I took the
What is that
clip where you were
from?
playing on the street with the violinist, and I said, you know what, that was a like his version. So I thought I'd put that together like back to back, like the street
That's
version
cool.
and then
And then
Dovydas
like a
version. Yeah.
stage version. Yeah, that's cool.
Yes.
They're so good. They're from Nashville. They're so efficient. Because in Nashville, you
Oh, my
see,
backyard. Yeah.
when on Broadway, you have to like play like 4 hour sets and just do requests, and they switch from song to song so fast. There's a video. I don't think I've posted it yet. It's like I wanted to say like this next song is dedicated, and they just start playing, and I think it was so funny because it cut me off and I couldn't finish the sentence. But I think it's so funny, you know? Yeah, because they're
You
just
know,
excellent
I lived in
musicians.
Florida most of my life.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
lived between 2012 and 2022. I lived in Sarasota, Florida, and then I disappeared in 2022. I went to California. Yeah.
You like it better, I guess,
Well, I think like
overall.
Where are you
yeah, like
now?
well, I think no matter where you go, it's you who's there, right? So it's what you make of it. So it's like if it's sad you, it's gonna be sad you in Italy. Doesn't matter, right? So if it's
Right.
happy you, it's gonna be happy you in New Jersey, even in New Jersey, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's a good attitude.
it connects me because there's like something common or something very different, and even different can be connecting, because I really believe in the benefit of diversity of ideas, it's metaphysical for me. It's like I look for meanings, or like why does the melody move me, and then why do melodies visit me, do I come up with it? Where does it come from? Does it come from somewhere else, and then, incredible things happen in my life because I sort of have this, I think, because I have this open outlook, and then everyone loves music, even if they don't do music. So I don't know, I'm kind of like a student of music, not only a student of music in terms of like how well can I play my instrument, and can I do this chord, and can I put my finger here, but it's sort of like a student of music, like what impact does it have? If you think of any form of art, whether it's sculpture, painting, a play, Broadway musical, a song, all of that is merely a shadow of a human emotion that they were trying to capture, So like the West Side Story is about these two people falling in love, and they can't be together, or whatever. It's Shakespeare, or like a painting of like this girl in the yard reading a book. It was literally a moment in human existence, and it's just merely a fraction of a shadow of what that meant, So I'm like really open to like experiences with people, because I think like that's the raw material for art, and then later it gets reimagined, repackaged, and then sort of like sifted through filters, and then now it's like a 3.5 minute audio file for you to listen. It's yeah, it's like there's no substance to bottle it purely, so it's merely just lights and shadows, because like we live our lives unedited. We have conversations with each other. We don't rewind or edit, and it's sort of like it's within the flow of time, especially like early shake your ass type of songs. That's very much women's right liberations, and owning the sexuality, because they're going to be judged by men regardless within the industry. Oh, you're not sexy enough, your nose is too big, like Madonna. Like I don't like Madonna's music, but I love what she stood for and stands for, so like just if you think about it, Material Girl, Material, that's very much a protest song. That's like very anti-status quo. And it's like, I'm going to reclaim ownership of my destiny. And yes, I have this. You're going to look at it anyways, and I'm going to shake it. So there's this, because I used to think like that. It's like, okay, like certain genres, there's no artistic merit. But if it moves large numbers of people, there has to be something that sound or that visual taps into something. Because like, look at the cave paintings from like God, like 20,000 years ago, right? Or the mother of Vendels, right? From the early Anglo-Saxon, the sculpture of it. We can deny our humanity and our shadow, but trust me, there's artistic merit to ass. There's artistic merit to naked human body, and then taking ownership and not letting like someone else sort of like, oh, you shouldn't do that. That's no, no, no.
Give a lot of people a platform too, and I think that's really commendable. And my son is a huge fan of yours, by the way. He goes, "Oh my God, he's coming on your show tonight." I'm like, "Yeah, he is,"
That's
and
cool.
he really likes the idea that wherever you travel around, like all these other singers and locals, they have talent, and you listen to some of these voices, and you're like, my God, that woman's good or that girl's good, and you're
Hmm.
like,
Hmm.
wondering how many of those that you might have worked with have gotten somewhere because of the relationship or the moments or that they've shared with you.
Well, I know so a few people, and I can't really say because they signed NDAs with the network, but they were scouted because so I know for a fact that different like TV show scouts, they watch my videos and then they reach out to those singers that they see in the videos. So America's Got Talent, The Voice, American Idol, I think if it's still going on, some TV shows, and then this other on HBO of like the second stage I don't know what's it called, but yeah, they got scouted
Is that true? You were on Eurovision at one point?
in Lithuania. So each country when they send someone to Eurovision, they do like a local competition to figure out who they're gonna send.
Is there something that just stands out to this point that you think was monumental?
So I like the cover of my new album, Rockstar Problems. I think that's pretty epic cover art. I just took an invoice that I received from an ex-girlfriend and just put it on as the cover of my album, and it's pretty rock and roll and savage. So I think it's pretty monumental.
And I'm sure
Yeah.
she's flattered.
Well,
That's what I miss.
what did you
That's
miss?
what I
What?
miss about old music are like the liner notes and the album covers. And how do you be able to still do that when you're doing so much stuff online?
So no, I just took the invoice that she sent. So I dated her for 1 year, and she lived rent free with me in LA, and I paid all the bills. And anyways, the relationship was not terrible. It was just not going anywhere. So I just broke up with her, and I'm like, okay, you have to move out. And she's like, I'm not moving out. Pay me. So and then like okay, and then she sent me an invoice. It was for $43,500, and it was itemized. So it was like the cost of youth, the cost of. So I think this is hilarious, right? Because I was working on this album because I had the song Rockstar Problems already, and it wasn't about her. It was my relationship with my parents, because it's a little bit contentious at the moment. And it's like, oh, this is perfect. So I just redacted the names, but the invoice is exactly how I received it. So it's the most rock and roll shit ever. And I love it. And
So
I relish.
how could she be like giving you an invoice when you were the one who paid for everything?
Well, because it's Los Angeles, and I have a type for women, right, that are, just a tinge of cruel. And I don't know where it comes from, probably from my childhood. And so it's on me, I enable. I'm too generous. And I mean, we can like, talk for hours. This is another podcast about relationships here, right? And just Los Angeles relationship romantic dynamics. But how, uh, you see, when a why is strong enough, how doesn't matter. So I just think it's rock and roll, and it's not about who sent it. It's about what type of lifestyle does the artist live to this be a regular thing, and that's why it's perfect for Rockstar Problems. There's a lot of like uh, transactional relationships, I suppose. I've witnessed in other people, and how they like everyone's using each other for like either proximity to fame or power, and then everybody's getting something out of it, I suppose. And me coming in with like an open heart, it's like this is not a boohoo me. It's like do better, on me. So
Sounds like you're constantly learning, just like with your music.
everyone isn't everyone always learning? It's like as soon as you stop learning, it's like, oh, I know everything. No, you don't. No one knows everything. You could live 1,000 years, you wouldn't know anything.
You're in LA.
Yes.
Very superficial place for someone with an open heart.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Think of any great artist, Prince, David Bowie, anyone. Can you imagine them? Hey, hey, did you like my song? Hey, my new song is out. Go stream it now. I hope you like it. Let me know if you. No, it's almost like an aura of not giving a shit. If you're not gonna get it, it's your problem. If you're not gonna appreciate that art. So that's kind of what I'm learning. It's not even in the sound. It's like in the attitude. It's in the maybe I spent too much time pleasing people. It's like, oh, what do you want to hear? Do you like this? Do you like that? And it's like maybe that's why I suffered parallel in my own relationships. Do you like this? Do you like that? And I do everything right, and I get an invoice in the end. And it's like maybe it's not about you can't please everyone. Maybe that's the lesson of being yourself as a person, being yourself as an artist.
No, it
It's
makes so much sense because if you care what so many people think, you're never going to do anything because not
no,
everyone's going to like it at all.
no,
And
and
I
You
it's
got
think
to be
that's what
true to
holds so
yourself.
many
You've
people
got to like it.
back.
You've got to own it, right? I mean, you don't. I
yeah,
don't care what other people say or think about. People. I have my problems, right? I've had people say this and that about me that's not true or whatever. I think we all do. Not everybody likes me. But I don't care.
because like if I had to design a hell for a musician, I think it would be Broadway in Nashville. So there's like three bookers booking different circuits on that street. Every uh, set is 4 hours long, and there is 10 to 2, 2 to 6, 6 to 10, and then 10 to 2 in the morning. Some musicians, some bands do two, three shifts a day. It's all covers because it's you're meant to encourage people to request a cover, and then you have to like know a million songs. They just if no one's requesting anything, the manager still wants you to play covers, or they're gonna fire you because somebody else is gonna play for free. It's all tips. There's like no job guarantee. The belt buckle, the cowboy hat, and the boots, that Americana costume of a nostalgia to a time that never even existed. It's made up nostalgia. Uh, and then I don't know the homogeny and then the way it like boxes art and it's people are discouraged from doing originals and then yeah it's just I have a lot of friends that do that and everyone burns out after about like 2 3 years of doing that they just burn out they just people move away or they like do something else and then they stop doing music entirely and it's just for a musician and then the crowds they're not there someone's there for a convention someone's there for a party someone's there for this so they're like do they listen? It's just loud so it's like and it's also like discernment. So it's like I'd rather play on the street at 7-Eleven for like five people that are listening, as opposed to like, well, I played this festival, but like no one really they listened, but they didn't hear me. So it's like and that's the benefit of the internet that I get to afford to do that and then I know it's still gonna be seen by a million people. So it's like, and I try to encourage all my musician friends to do the same thing. Film every time they play, post it, even if they believe it's not perfect, just post it anyways. Just trust me, just do it
I'm sure you have people saying negative things.
all the time, all the time. And it's like whatever. Not whatever. I understand early on, and I do remember certain comments, but that's kind of the price of attention, isn't it? Because not all attention that you will
Hmm.
receive will be positive. So it's like, okay, that is that feeling that is also part of the experience, and it's all right. And if you just keep moving forward they none of the haters stay long time. Well, my ex actually, so she created a bunch of fake accounts, so I know she's commenting me and stuff almost every day, which is fine. I'm not banning the account. I just leave it because I think it's funny. It's like, you know if she was like 10% that much involved as she is now, like we probably would have never broken up. But it's like, well, too bad. Bye. So that's the only negative comments I received lately. But and some singers they actually asked me to delete the videos later because it's like, oh, my vocal performance, and then I show it. Look at the positive comments, how everyone is rooting for you, and it'll be like 5 million views later. It's like, oh my God, and now they get all these new followers, and now they got invited to play Red Rocks because they got discovered on this video. So it's like, you see, and you wanted me to delete this. No, listen to me. Yeah, done is better than perfect. Yeah, done is better than perfect. It's like, oh, I have this brilliant idea. Okay, well, but it has
It's
to be perfect.
authentic.
It's like just do it, and it's fine. Like the first iPhone was not perfect. Nothing first edition was perfect, and it's fine. When you like hang out with a friend at a dinner, like you don't say, "Let me say that again," or like you don't edit, or like it's yeah.
Great example. Yeah, great example.
Because, like, the red nose and the powder, that comes from the French critique of the bourgeoisie post-revolution, because that's how the elites presented themselves. So that's why traditionally clowns are that, because they're making fun of the establishment. But if you, at its core to be a clown and sort of like be flexible with the environment and interacting with it and not forcing your bit too hard, it's art. So I'm a little bit of a clown.
That's
Oh,
a
there's
good thing.
construction. There's a whole construction happening. Like, I'll move. This is amazing. So I used to go by a different name when I came to America. I used to go by David Smash because I saw this movie when I was 14. It was Walk the Line with Joaquin Phoenix, and I until that movie I didn't know who Johnny Cash was. So and then hello, I'm Johnny Cash, and I was like, I was 13, 14, it just blew my mind. So cool. So I wanted to like, hello, I'm David
Great
Smash,
movie.
because it sounded. But my real name is Dovydas, so it's like, well, if Americans figured out how to say Rihanna, Beyonce, Prince, and just kind of like mononyms or like weird names, and it's
They can
so that
say
was
my name.
that was like the first step into like authenticity, and that was 2017. That was like deliberate. I changed all the social handles. I didn't have any followers. I had like 50 followers maybe on YouTube, but I changed it anyways, and it was meaningful for me to do it.
My son is an actor. He's a SAG actor, and he was in Transporter 2 with Jason Statham and a bunch of other stuff. And from Florida and stuff. And he looks like you a little bit. He had the long blonde hair. He was a surfer kid. He did the Capri Juice commercials and stuff. And so he's just like, yeah, guy's cool. I said, yep. I'll see if I'll get an album for you, buddy. So, however I can do that, I'm going to give him an album.
We'll figure it out. I'll just mail one to you. Just yeah, just send me
Cool.
the address. I'll put it in the padded envelope, and it'll get there from 6 to 8 months.
I'm not going anywhere. Yeah. So I met I met Frank in Roswell, New Mexico, and he was coming in with all these robots, right? He had these R2D2s and stuff, and they were going through the Roswell Museum. Like I got to talk to this guy, and yeah, that was that was years ago, and we've been
I think
friends
it
ever
was about
since.
10 years ago.
Heather, what's your background? What you're into?
Well, I was always a journalist in TV news, more than 20 years. I actually, I lived in New York City. I worked for news there. I worked for CBS News in London. I started doing stand-up comedy in New York City, and
Oh,
that was a
I want to come
great
see you.
time. And I used it as a way to not be depressed during 9/11, during the coverage of all
Hmm.
of that, and seeing all the tragedy, and to like and to like keep light of yourself. And then I also had picked up the guitar and learned that and took lessons in both Austin and New York.
There's what's this one thing I want to do. I haven't launched it yet, but I think it's a brilliant idea. I want to sell DVDs. Hear me out. Played inside of a Waffle House. I went to Letterman. That's a good video. I went like flying an airplane, like a small airplane. I barely landed it. That's a fun adventure. I went hiking on this like the highest peak in the Utah, and I brought my guitar and I didn't bring a water bottle. That's a great adventure, right? And then sell like a limited number physical copies, but one has a golden ticket, and whoever gets that DVD with a golden ticket, I will drive to wherever they live and play a concert for them, even if it's
Like
backyard
Willy
or
Wonka.
yes, like even if it's a small apartment and I'm gonna end up playing for five of their friends, I will do it. And I think it's a brilliant idea. I really want to do that. I think the smaller it is, the funnier and the better it is. And then film that, and then yeah, just adventures like that. I think that'd be really cool. I really want to do that. I've been thinking about that for like a half a year. I really want to do it.
And that's what it's about, fun, loving what you do.
When you love it, you even love the difficult parts, right? If you only focus on the results, you're gonna hate it. And then when the results come, they're not as sweet. You know, Y- I'm, and you've been in television and journalism, and I'm sure you've like interviewed people with incredible achievements, but if they don't have that spark, like what accolades do you like need to like name drop, or like how many what famous people do you need to name drop to like to be perceived to be relevant in the conversation, or how many like this like achievements from the past do you need to slip in, or like just I don't know, just like to and I encounter that a lot, I see people like okay, I'm trying not to be negative. Breathe.
Well, I
um
guess what I'm hearing is getting there is half the fun.
no, that is the fun. Awards mean nothing. I had my like gold 1 million YouTube plaque. I just like drew on it different fan names and their handles when I was doing the live stream. Every day I wake up, like I get to make music. I get to walk around an interesting city. I get to go to the deli and someone's gonna make me food and I'm gonna meet someone today, and it's all a gift. Existence. Who said? I think Stephen Colbert. I don't know if you guys believe in God. Me, not particularly, not in the traditional sense, right? He said it in one of the interviews. Somebody interviewed Stephen Colbert, and he's a Catholic, so and he's like, life is suffering, and life is a gift. So like even suffering is a gift, So it's like it's all a gift, you know. And it's like a very radical approach, and I get to believe it that way because I do have somewhat privileged existence where I don't need to look at how much anything costs at the moment. So that's really nice. Someone's not having a good time. This is an ambulance.
Please,
Someone's
we're
that
thinking
is
here.
that is usually never. It's never because it's well, no, maybe it's they're giving birth.
Used to spend my nights out at barrooms. Liquor was the only love I've known. But you rescued me from reaching for the bottom and brought me back from being too far gone. Well, you're as smooth as Tennessee whiskey. You're as sweet as strawberry wine. You're as warm as a glass of brandy. But honey, I stay stoned on your love all the time. Haven't looked for love in all the same old places. Found a bottom of a bottle's
What
always
is it that you do?
dry.
Someone says, "Can you play this?" And you listen to it.
Well, I know enough about the human mind that the memory is not a perfect playback, and so whenever they request a song that they are nostalgic about, they're requesting to experience a fraction of that feeling. They're not necessarily requesting the song. They are requesting the song, but it's more about the feeling and the way that song makes them feel when they hear it, right? So you don't need to like learn the song note for note or even do 100%, because especially if they're not musicians, they're not going to be able to tell, or even from memory. Lyrics, because they're English coded, and whoever speaks English, then yeah, they're gonna remember the lyrics. But like the melody or the instrumental, so it takes about like much less of a musical match to spark an emotion from a similar musical memory. So I just kind of like listen to the whole thing, and then I kind of like pick apart because there will be a part not I'm less listening to the music, I'm more like watching them and feeling them because they'll be like that right there, right? So that right there is like has significance for them. Maybe it's the intro riff, maybe it's the the guitar solo, maybe it's the lyrics in the bridge. It meant something when they were going through something in their life. And each song that I went, it gets covered in those circumstances. It gets asked for different reasons.
If it's something that reminded them of someone they love, maybe you slow it down a little bit, right? That
Yeah,
kind of thing.
I changed the shit out of it. If you compare it side by side, it's not even the same thing anymore, but it's for that moment, you know? Because like even like the perception of tempo, perception of speed, and perception of time is non-linear for people, for humans, you know? So like, because heartbeat fluctuates so much throughout the day, the pulse, the blood pressure, the speed at which your thoughts run through your head also fluctuate depending on the time of day, what mood you're in. Music can kind of like snap it into, yeah. So it's like it's so circumstantial. It's different. It's different. And I think yeah, it's more about like listening to the song. It's more like reading the moment and reading the room and reading the people, you know, and then kind of like interacting. That's kind of what I've learned. It's like it almost like it's music is just a vehicle for this other thing that's more than music, you know? My aunt, she was an aspiring opera singer, so she took me to an opera when I was 4. I saw like the orchestra concerto when I was 5. I saw ballet when I was 6, and I won at that. I've spent like a lot of time thinking about it, what it is that I saw in that, what it is that fascinated me about it. But I guess I will never fully understand it, and maybe like the satisfaction does not even lie in the understanding of it. Like I don't need to understand it. It's just like so yeah, like 13. I picked up a guitar, but I probably would have like chose whatever profession that would have been closest to people or interacting with people or understanding people and alleviating emotional human suffering, and not necessarily like not a nurse or anything like or a firefighter, like no, but like something that's like s- changing the state of mood, and there are many ways to do that with people. Music is just, I think, like the most efficient because it's immediate, it's sound, and it's meant to be performed when people are congregating. And sometimes a large group congregation alone changes the state of mind and mood, you know? And then, because it's like, if you think about a painting, the time from making it to by the time it's going to be enjoyed is not as instant. Sculpture, fuck, it's even longer, you know? Stand-up uh, play musicals, that's immediate, that's like this is happening right now, you're here right now, this is now. I really like that. I really like how it's like in the now. And then believing that there's this other world that because I was listening to American blues and rock and roll, and there's this other world, and they speak and they sing in this language I don't understand, right? And they play the way I've never heard anyone play. And it sounds nothing like what I hear on Lithuanian radio or television. And then discovering what is Elvis, what is Johnny Cash, what is Jerry Lee Lewis. And I did watch Dean Martin show, and so I know who, like majority of my English I did learn from watching Dean Martin show. Well, no, that was later. Majority of my English the way to like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, every episode of every season, because the acting is so expressionate that you don't need subtitles to understand. It's like it's I think it's because like Will Smith is a musician and DJ Jazzy Jeff was also a musician. So like musicians have like a different way, the way they speak and they use hands and face expressions. So it was like really easy to understand. Oh, and yeah, because Steve Avery was like a theater trained actor too. So it's like the acting is a little bit more expressionate. Because I tried watching in English with no subtitles other TV shows from the 80s and 90s, and I did not understand what's happening. I did not. I didn't know.
listening to rock and roll, but you couldn't understand the words, but you just loved what you heard and
Yeah,
said,
it was
that's what I want
amazing.
to do. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it was just yeah. I had this CD, Blues Giants Volume 2, and it's like a compilation album. It had like John Lee Hooker, B.B. King, Lightning Hopkins, and it's like, oh my God. And some of the recordings were like bad quality on live recordings, but it was just amazing. It just sounded incredible, you know? So it's like, what is this? Where is this? Where did they record this? What's the history? What's the delivery was so free.
So listen, stay on with us for a minute, okay? Thank you so much. It's been awesome.